I used Claude Opus 4.8 and the Magnific MCP to build a full 3D product website inside Claude Code, and now I want to show you exactly how. With Magnific connected, Claude can generate product images, convert them to 3D models, and then build a complete website around them, all from one conversation, all without you switching tools. Here's exactly what I did. You need two things to start: Claude Code and a Magnific account. Magnific just dropped their MCP, which means you can plug it directly into Claude Code and use it as a native tool inside your terminal. So Claude has access to image generation, video creation, and 3D model building, all from inside your conversation, with everything running on your Magnific credits. And the reason that matters is that you are not managing two separate platforms anymore. You are not downloading from one and uploading to another. Claude is handling the entire creative pipeline from inside a single session. To connect it, open Claude Code, run the MCP add command, paste in the Magnific server URL, and from that point, Claude can call Magnific tools directly without you doing anything else. Now, before you type your first prompt, go into your terminal settings and set your effort level to extra high right next to your model selector. This gives Claude more thinking time before it starts executing. So instead of jumping straight into generating, it reasons through the task first and considers the design decisions more carefully. The difference? An output too good to ignore, and what comes back at extra high is the kind of output that makes you stop and look twice before you move on. Now, the prompt I used was this. Okay, use Magnific, generate for me a sports shoe brand called Explo. White colored shoes, no logo, modern design, built for sport, floating on a dark blue space. And once that's done, I want to make it a 3D model. Claude calls Magnific straight away, and before it sends anything, it tells you it's crafting a strong image prompt internally, which is worth paying attention to because it is not just forwarding your words to the generator, it is rewriting your brief into the kind of prompt that actually produces a strong visual result. And that translation step is part of why the output quality is higher than if you had gone to the image generator directly yourself. Then 3 shoes start rendering simultaneously. In about 47 seconds, Claude drops 3 preview links right there in the chat. Shoe 1, shoe 2, shoe 3. Click to open each one and compare them before you commit to anything. I went with shoe 3. Claude routes it through Magnific's 3D model generator using Tripo V31 for high quality texture. Takes about 3 minutes to process while you watch it rendering. The shoe comes back as a full 3D model inside Magnific. White, clean, already looking like a real product shot rather than something obviously generated. Once it's done, Claude downloads the .glb file directly to your local folder and confirms it's ready. You don't touch anything. The whole pipeline from image to 3D file runs without you leaving the conversation. Now, this is the part that determines how good your website actually turns out, and most people get it wrong. Most people reach this point and type something like, build me a website with this, and Claude will. But what comes back is going to feel generic because you haven't given it enough to work with. And the output is only ever as good as the brief behind it. The way to fix that is your prompt structure, and there are 4 parts to it. Give Claude a role first. Something like you are a senior front-end engineer specializing in cinematic product experiences, because the role shapes how Claude thinks about every decision it makes, from the font it picks to how it frames the product on the page. Then give it the brand context. What is this brand? What does it stand for? What should someone feel when they land on this page for the first time? Because the more you give Claude here, the less it has to invent, and the less it invents, the closer the output is to what you actually had in mind. Then tell it what the site needs to do. Rotate 360 degrees, react to scroll, snap between product views, feel premium and cinematic, and give it the functional and the visual direction at the same time, because one shapes the other. And the last thing, right at the bottom of your prompt, tell Claude to ask you clarifying questions before it starts, with a target of at least 95% accuracy. This is the part that surprised me the first time I tried it, because Claude does not just acknowledge what you wrote and start building. It reads through everything and comes back with questions you genuinely did not think to answer. Things like, what is the brand story? What should the founder's voice sound like in the copy? What do you want the call to action to say? Should the product specs be shown as a list or as animated counters? How many viewing angles do you want to give the customer? You answer each one. And now Claude has no gaps to fill. It knows the brand, the brief, the boundaries. So what it builds actually looks like something you planned, then it builds. 3.js makes the shoe respond when you grab it. The camera follows your movement and the rotation mimics your hand. This way, it starts feeling like you're holding the product when you're actually looking at a render. And when you scroll down, the light moves with you. That is WebGL point light reading your scroll position and repositioning the light source around the shoe the way a photographer would during a real shoot. That one behavior is what separates this from a product page that just sits there. CSS Scroll Snap handles the gallery. Every swipe lands exactly where it should: orbit, side, top, sole, each one snapping into place without any drift. And GSAP Scroll Trigger keeps the shoe pinned on screen the whole time you are scrolling through the specs and the brand story, so the product never leaves your eyeline while you are reading about it. All of it running in one HTML file, nothing to install, nothing to manage separately. And this is what came back: the shoe floating on the dark navy background, the velocity one headline on the left, performance metrics on the right, orbit, side, top and sole controls at the bottom so you can view every angle, a full story page with a founder note, and explore in 3D button. I've watched developers spend a full week building something that doesn't come close to this. Now, once you have the first version, compact your context window at around 40% usage. You will see that percentage displayed inside Claude code. Compacting clears out the earlier parts of the conversation, so Claude stays focused on what you are currently working on rather than pulling from context that is no longer relevant. Then you clone it for both landscape and portrait. The site is built for landscape by default, but you need both, and one prompt handles it. Tell Claude you want a mobile version of this same layout, same 3D model, same scroll interactions, but adjusted for a vertical screen, the text sizing, the layout structure, the way the scroll behaves on a phone. Claude builds it from the landscape version directly, so you are not starting over or rebuilding anything. It just adapts what already exists for a different screen orientation. Last step is deployment. Before you push, prompt Claude to convert everything to WEBP formats. WEBP files load faster than JPG or PNG, and the slow loading side costs you in two ways: your search ranking drops and people leave before the page finishes loading. So getting this right before you go live is worth the extra 30 seconds it takes to ask for it. Then have Claude generate your SEO meta tags, connect to Vercel or Netlify directly from inside Claude code, and deploy the finished code live. That entire workflow, one conversation from start to finish. The prompts I use for this entire workflow are sitting in the comments waiting for you. Just drop build and I'll send them over. And while you're here, subscribe, because the next one covers something even bigger than this.